Yo, what's up, guys? I'm so excited to share this talk that I had with Byron Katie. Byron Katie is someone who did the work. You can Google her, which is super useful if you're dealing with people problem, think problem. But I didn't really understand how to use some aspect of it. So I spoke with her, and she had like a Zoom call which she does every week. You should definitely join. Check it out. And here's my talk with her.
Good morning from Ojai, California. Yep, it's a good one. It's a good one. It's a good one. Meaning I can find no fault. So in the absence of fault, it's a good one. Fault is nothing more than something that appears internally to question. What could be out of order other than what we're thinking and believing about that what? That person, place, thing. What's going on, family? Prim, what's going on?
I was actually shocked because I didn't expect to. I didn't know what the Zoom call was. I didn't know she actually calls people on. I thought she'd give a lecture and she'd be opening for Q&As or something. But I directly got called out in the beginning and it caught me off guard.
Hi,
That-
Prim.
Hi, Katie. Thanks for giving me an opportunity to share.
Oh,
I used the work for releasing with people problems. Oh, this guy upset me. I'll do the work and voila, magic. However, with when it comes to things which pertains to myself, or even being productive, or something more abstract like, oh, I see this problem with the society, I don't particularly hate anybody. I don't think it's anybody's fault, but I feel it's like the stacking of little things that people don't do, and it just manifests in like a large scale problem, and I see it.
The little things build up and then it becomes this heavier thing in you.
And I don't know, and I can't blame it. I have emotions, but I don't know where to direct it towards.
Well,
So here I'm asking her, I know how to deal with decider problem, but how do I deal with the observer problem, society, myself, how other people perceive me, stuff like this.
my ego says I can't blame anyone either, but what do I know? I could blame someone in 10 minutes. I don't know. So
Byron Katie is an EJ, she's FESI, and she's like, I can blame a person in 10 minutes. And I'm like, wait a minute, I don't do that. I don't blame people that fast. But she's like preaching the problems and struggles that she has. And she's like super alpha person, right? She's like peak alpha, you know what I mean? And she's like solved her problem. And my problem is like double observing, and she like just rips through.
filling in these worksheets, these Judge-Your-Neighbor Worksheets, and doing the work as a daily practice, I get to question what arises, and my ego will tell me, oh, I don't believe it, or I don't really judge other people. And then I get really still to test that. Is that true? I mean, walking down the street, we judge people. We judge people sitting at the breakfast table. We don't judge them out loud. It's going on internally, if not out loud. So I am wide open when my ego says, I don't judge other people. If I have the thought, I don't judge other people, it ends in a question mark, meaning, is that true? I just judged me. I'm a people. I don't judge other people.
Here, I don't feel like I judge, but I do make a lot of statements. And I never question the statements that I make. Oh, I'm not being productive today. Oh, somebody hates me. It's a statement almost. For me, that's the word that resonates with me. And she's saying you have to like question that, not make it so closed loop but open loop, which was profound. What happens when you judge yourself? Because let's say I have a project to do and I'm not being productive. So yeah, I'm not doing the project. Is that true? Yeah, it is true, you know.
Well, the answer is yes.
Yeah.
I'm not doing the project. Is it true? Yes. And how do you react when you believe the thought you're not doing the project? And you get really still and you meditate in how you react when you believe that.
My
and you
God,
see a
huge.
lot of, oh my goodness, a
How
lot
do
of
you react?
judgment and guilt and anxiety.
Uh, I'm processing this. I'm like, oh my God, I actually never notice how I react to the statements and even like question them in the first place. I'm like processing this in the moment. Yeah, I understand
And
what you're
and
saying.
justification.
Mm-hmm. So you have to tune into the reaction. I've been doing your work since 2018. So I said this, I've been doing your work since 2018, but I get called out so many times for like not doing it, for doing it incorrectly, and you'll like see it in the future, which is really funny. And I just want to um, ask you about the understanding what I have. From what I understand, it almost feels like there's a part of me, the ego, that I see the problem with ego is that the ego cannot love itself, cannot give approval for itself. So it's always seeking in the external world to give, to make it happy, you know. Oh, if I speak to this person and if he gives me this approval, if he says I like, if he says, yeah, I like you, dude, and then I feel happy, you know. But the ego can't tell itself that I like itself.
If someone says that they don't like me, that tells me about them, not me.
Yeah. Yeah. That caught me off guard, honestly. It's like, whoa. Because it's such a bizarre distinction.
If they don't like me, what does that have to do with me? They don't
But
like me. That is theirs. So where's my compassion? Also, if they don't like me, I can ask them, basically, what is it about me that you don't like? And they can wake me up to some things that I could really use potentially. Maybe it's something I'm completely unaware of. So everyone grows me. This is Earth School. I'm being grown. They say, I hate you. Well, that's about them. And what is it they see in me that they hate, even though it's the long way around? They hold information I could use. And because I'm not hurt, because it's not about me, I'm free compassionately to understand and to listen to the complaints about me. It's very powerful. I, ego, can't see it as clearly as me, as clearly as maybe you can. And that's often the case.
damn, I feel it. I feel the entire process. It feels a bit sad because people come, they give something, and now a part of them is in you, and they leave, and now you're just left with
Well,
memories that.
if it's in me, it's not a part of them.
This catches me off guard too, because I personally don't process my emotional condition. I always feel like this is not mine. There's someone else is coming and is giving a part of them in me, and I have a part of them in me. That's what it feels like to me. But when she said that it's not a part of them, it's part of you. If you have it, I never identified as it to be mine. I don't know why. It's never crossed my thought. So when she said that, it also caught me off guard. It's like, whoa. I'm like,
What
I'm
I think
processing.
and believe about that person is mine.
So the emotions that they had is yours.
No, mine are mine. Theirs are theirs. What I believe about their emotions, that's mine. That could be a whole Judge-Your-Neighbor worksheet. And to say I've done this work and to really do it, sit down with it as a practice, it's food, it's breath, it's spending some time in Earth School in a whole other way, waking up to reality and our true nature.
So just to
Or
confirm
never
my
sleep to.
so just to confirm my understanding, I have to be more conscious of how I react. So when I say, "Oh, the society is triggering me,"
No,
I'm
just
being trapped by the education system.
no, you don't have to
Yeah, I'm coming with observe problems, and she just like she like double observing like that.
be. Just do your Judge-Your-Neighbor worksheets and you get it.
So
By
for
waking up
example,
to it, not by thinking what you should or shouldn't have.
so let's say I'm upset about the education system. So how do I fill the worksheet? Because it's very people oriented, right?
I would judge it. And if you've been doing the work so long, you know how to fill in a Judge-Your-Neighbor worksheet, or you really haven't done it, given it to yourself in a way
Ouch.
that you really deserve.
Yeah.
So I am disappointed.
So I do the work, and with people problem, it's easy, but something like this is super hard. And I realized the problem, what I was doing, I do not narrow in the sensory. I do not actually use my SI. I actually use my NENTI to fill out the worksheet, and then I still get lost. But here, Byron Katie, she gives me like an SI masterclass. Okay, how do you narrow in the sensory, and you'll see it when I do the work, and just be aware and conscious of that.
You find the emotion. Maybe it's I'm disappointed in education, meaning the establishment that you are focused on. I'm disappointed in education, and I think of a building, an institute. I think of even my whatever school it is, that the system you have in mind. I'm disappointed in them because they what?
So here's the thing. She's giving me, I'm disappointed in them. I didn't have this word disappointment. I don't know personally how I feel about the system, but here Byron Katie helps me by giving me the emotion. Oh, you're disappointed. And I'm like, oh, I am disappointed with the education system. I was not aware of that before. So it's really important to label your emotions to do this process effectively. If you're like a demon feeler like me with feminine FE, make sure you know the feeling, okay, I'm disappointed. And then the SI. Mm, because it's not upgrading. It is not upgrading to the level the technology is leveling up. Technology is advancing, but spiritually we are all still here. And there's a part of me that wants to fix it, but there's also another part of me that understands that it takes a lot of time to change something
Okay,
like that.
now you're way away from number one. How would you say all of that? I'm disappointed in the education system because they're not advanced enough.
So how do you say all of that in a simple sensory that encapsulates everything? It's and I'm struggling because I'm like demon SI.
Everything you said, just get it down to a simple thing.
Just double observe.
Without missing any of it.
No, I can't. It's not conscious enough.
Okay, so I'm disappointed in the educational system because they're not conscious enough.
Yeah.
Okay, so now you move to number 2 on the Judge-Your-Neighbor worksheet. What is it that you want from that educational system that isn't conscious enough?
To be more conscious.
Okay, so
She said, what do you want from the education system? I'm like, to be more conscious. And here's a mistake I did. Now look, pause, this is a mistake. Problem, the mistake is, what I want needs to be in sensory. So what do I want in the SI? I know kind of what I want in the NE. Oh, I want it to be more conscious in an abstract woo land. But what do I want in the sensory? Is what I did not do.
you fill it in. Number 2,
Yeah.
I want E or ES, educational system, to be more conscious.
Mhm.
Now you can have anything you want. Is there anything else? Get specific. I want the ES, educational system. I want, what else do you want? Like if they were listening to you and said, I just want you to be more conscious. They don't even know what you're talking about. So I mean, like what? Be more specific. What do you want?
Something more like this, where a person can self-heal themselves using the work or something like that. Not exactly the work, some tool that they could use to when a problem does arise, to tackle it and at least have the confidence that I have something in my back to use against the situation.
So you really don't know what you want.
So she's saying, I don't know what I want in the sensory. Also, my video pauses and it stops working for the rest of the time. And I tell her like an observer way, oh my god, the video paused. I hope that's okay. And she like double observes. It's fine, we can hear you. And if the video comes up, it comes up. And I was like, wow, God bless double observing.
You kind of know what you want, but you don't even know what it is.
Yeah.
So let's say it's the work. I want them to teach the work. And for some people, it would be Buddhism. For some people, it would be Christianity. For some people, it would be, but this is your worksheet you're filling in.
Yeah.
All of you out there, when you're filling this in, what do you want? The ego doesn't like these questions, but eventually it begins to trust you. And what do I want? And just go in this meditative state. What do I want them to think, say, feel, or do? What do I want?
What do you want in the sensory? I missed that part. I always said, oh, what do I want? I want intuition, la la land. I want this dream. It's abstract. What do I want in the sensory? Okay.
It's like, if I don't know what it is, when they give it to me, would I even recognize it? And it could be your wants are very small. It could be your wants are something that you could give yourself and not be so dependent on a system to teach you. And there are ways that anyone can get that education if that's what they really want. There are libraries, there are people in the world that love to teach, that ask for nothing in return.
Yeah.
So now we're at number 3 on the Judge-Your-Neighbor Worksheet. Those of you that are new to the work, Judge-Your-Neighbor Worksheet is just one sheet of paper with 6 questions, and you just answer them. So now what advice would you offer to that institution? What advice would you offer them to get what you want?
What advice in the sensory cannot be abstract, at least for me. Create more or listen to the. For some reason, I cannot start my video. Just want to let that know.
Well, we can hear you.
Okay.
And maybe it'll shift.
Maybe if they just share the information, if they understood the problem, what kids are going through, and then
okay. So how would you say that simply? I want them to listen to the students. I mean, they should listen to the students because we're on number 3. We're on advice.
Yeah.
They shouldn't ignore what we want.
Yeah, and present information in a way that excites them.
So they should, and you get that very simple, sentence, and that's simple. You know, they should give us what we want in a way that excites us. Okay.
Yeah.
And they shouldn't. Is there a shouldn't?
They shouldn't. Even so, here's the thing. I know, even though shouldn't, in my mind, there is a voice that says, even though I know I shouldn't, or you shouldn't teach something that they probably wouldn't use, like mathematics, calculus, or whatever. Yeah. But I do know that is useful in some sense, gives a basic foundation. But I know that's
so now you're kind of sitting in, thinking through, meditating through number 3. You're thinking, you already know that.
She's saying, give me the SI, please. Just give me the SI. Okay.
Okay.
So this also is a part of the process.
They shouldn't. Just go back to it. Now move to number 4. What do you need to be happy? When you look at that system, that educational system, what do you need to be happy? What could things they fail to do that would make you happy? What could they establish?
A system that provides wisdom to follow their excitement.
Okay, how would you say that?
And the courage.
To be happy, I need them to encourage me. Anything else?
But here's the thing, though. I don't feel this is about me.
Okay, they should encourage us. Okay.
Here I was like, had like a conflict with the SI she used it, but this is not about me. It's about all the education system, right? And this is where I missed. And she's like, it's okay, us.
Which is completely about you.
And she like redirects it about me again. So okay. This is also a necessary step for later realization that I have, and I'm like, oh, that it's about me in a very emotional sense.
It's what you think other students need, what you think about what would help them, what you think, and it's all yours. You're the institution spilling this stuff out.
That is true.
Yeah.
You feel there's you feel there's anything in the world that is not me?
Well, I can only speak for myself. You belong to me, even. You are who I believe you to be, who I think you to be. You're in me. You have your version of you. I have my version of you. So you belong to me. There's nothing you can do about that. The whole world is in me. There's nothing that is not mine. It's just, do I love my world yet? Now, filling in this worksheet, have you noticed so far the bit of difficulty you're having, just getting your mind to settle into like what you want? You had to really work to see.
Yeah, and I have trouble.
You had to really work to see. Well, when you have trouble with that, these worksheets, eventually you begin to think so clearly. You become aware, and that's not something that I can give you or teach you. But filling in this worksheet, you've had a bit of difficulty. And with my guidance, you've done much better. And this, I don't call it the work for nothing. This is a practice and stillness to see what is in you that is causing your discontent. That's what institutions are for. They lack so that you in Earth School can get in touch with yourself. It's what everything and everyone is for. And let's look at 5. These institutions, these educational institutions are. Now, what does your ego say when you are disappointed about the education system?
it is something like, oh, yeah, I can fix it, but because of the systems, the paperwork, the documentation, the lot of processes that I have to go through, which makes it almost
No, slow it down.
say all observed problems.
The educational system is
Mm, it's hard to fix because
no,
you have like
because we're filling in a worksheet.
yeah. So I was giving my TI here, and she's like, no, I just want the SI, the FI. So like, yeah,
Education is hard to fix. Is that
it's
what
hard
you
to
said?
fix. Yeah.
Okay. It lacks an efficiency or knowledge. What or
Yeah. Now she's giving me the SI because I have the NE, but I don't have the SI to ground my NE. So she gives me like different SIs. Is this what you want? And then everything slowly starts clicking for me. It lacks an efficiency.
It's inefficient.
It's inefficient, yeah. It's inefficient. Okay. It's almost like it kills the soul.
So what? It kills curiosity? Is that what you're thinking? It kills us all? What were you thinking?
It kills a part of you that is creative, I feel.
Okay, so it kills the creative minds.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, and I leave it to you to unload yourself. Some of you would fill this in on a relationship you're in, or relationship you were in 20 years ago. You might fill it in on your next door neighbor, the next door neighbor's dog. I mean, anything that would bring, and how do you react, Prem, when you believe these thoughts? You stunt your educational growth.
Yeah.
They're not living up to your standards. So people that believe the way you do stop participating, and they're so justified in it.
Mm-hmm.
And the greatest education I've ever had is studying this self, this ego, and what it offers up on this worksheet. The ego loves filling these in. If you just get still, give it a chance. Every problem in the world, when you slow down, can be downloaded on a Judge-Your-Neighbor Worksheet.
Should narrow down the sensory and put it in the paper, and the emotions too. You ground yourself. So, at least for me, that's been very helpful. Using questions to find out my sensory and ground it on a piece of paper.
And then you just question them one belief at a time. And that is,
yeah.
We want education so we can have comfortable, fulfilling lives. We want jobs so we can have fulfilling lives with some happiness. But look what we're taking to all of that, look what we go in with. No matter what beauty or riches, nature that the earth offers up, the world offers up, the ego is in opposition to it. And so we never really live a life of wanting what we have. We live a life of wanting what we don't have. It's quite an odd thing when the ego's running our life.
So I noticed you stopped me when I was giving my reasons.
When you were doing
when I was giving my
when
reasons.
You went into because.
Yeah.
I did. Justification and defense. Yeah. That is the opposite of filling in a Judge-Your-Neighbor Worksheet. Mm-hmm. And the reason I interrupted it is so that you would notice
Yeah,
you
thank you.
left the work and you're into to something that is not filling in the worksheet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Filling in a worksheet takes a meditative state. It takes presence to just fill this worksheet in. It takes a lot. The ego wants to hide, but we invite it up, and it'll offer itself to you if you get still enough to listen to your internal.
How do you know if it's ego talking or if it's the higher self?
Because it always is. Just when I think I know, I would question it. I would question what I think I know. And not because, oh, I know it's not true. Not like that. I just really want to know. I don't want to fool myself. I just really want to know. So
the answer comes within you rather than you creating it.
Where else could it come from?
I don't know, the ego mind.
No. You think that's you. If you think you're sitting there talking to me, then
You feel the ego exists, Katie?
That's like saying, I mean, what else is there, sweetheart? There's something beyond it that's wordless. It doesn't need a word. It is. But we have words for it like goodness, love, connection. And I'm moved by that. That's beyond ego. And as I share this with you, I'm the listener. This is a wordless experience. So let's look at number 6. What is it you never want to experience again in that situation having to do with education?
I don't want
with that particular educational system you had in your mind.
Yeah, I didn't want, to be honest, I'm coming to realize I didn't want my creativity and my dreams to get compromised because of a system that I couldn't control or something like that. And I was having this realization because she was giving me all the sensory. She was saying, "Oh, you are disappointed. Why? And is it because of this SI, this SI, this SI?" And my NE was slowly connecting the dots, and I'm like, "Oh, I was disappointed because my dreams were good, because of a system that I couldn't control."
Wow.
And she's processing that.
Wow. So,
and I was afraid it would happen to someone else.
I don't ever want the educational system to
kill my dreams.
Yeah, to kill your dreams, to compromise your system, to control you.
Yeah.
Well, they were your words. I wasn't guessing.
No, yeah.
So, honey, there's your worksheet.
Thank you so much.
And get very, very still. You have you have a mind that wants to jump into justification and defense.
And be more conscious of that.
Yeah, and it's not right or wrong. It's exactly what you say. Just notice, become more conscious of that. And then as you do this work on the educational system, you'll find an educational system that's closer than you think. It's closer than close. And once you utilize that, I could see you stepping onto any campus, enrolling into any educational system and getting what you want from that educational system. Nothing stopping you but what you're thinking and believing about that system. And you could be one of our great teachers in the world, sweetie.
Katie, thank you.
Oh, honey, you're so welcome. And you've been our teacher today. You've been a great teacher today. This interaction we've had together, it's not new. And we've all experienced it in one way or another. So in our own way. So thank you, Prem.
And that was my talk with Byron Katie. Byron Katie is someone who has been an idol of mine since 2018. Every time I go through like emotional stuff, I do the work by Byron Katie. She has a book called Loving Waters. It's a beautiful book. Highly recommend to check it out. She has a YouTube channel. Check it out. This was a Zoom call. Anyone can join it. Even you watching this video can join and ask her questions. If you're lucky, I guess. I don't know. I was like super lucky. I just joined and she called me. She called me first. But I thought I would share this. Let me know in the comments below if you guys found this meaningful. I personally got a lot of value from it. She's an amazing person. She's like alpha on alpha. And if you're really on the growth mindset path, she is someone you should aspire to. Not aspire towards. She's someone who has taken responsibility and she's inspired me. And I hope this talk added some value in your life. Let me know in the comments below. That's it, guys. I'll see you in the next video.